All right, we are live. Oh, well, I do have to give the disclaimer first. So let me make sure for everyone that is on Zoom, all sessions are recorded so that you have unlimited access to the playbacks. Especially if you are enrolled in the workshop. Once you do it once, you won't have to do it again. So because it is being recorded, we do ask that you type in "I consent" in the chat. Because with the recording, if you share your screen, you have to share your camera so that I can see, your mat, how you're loading it, whatever issues you're having to help us troubleshoot. You're going to need to turn your camera on. So you have to acknowledge that you understand that it will be recorded. Your voice and stuff will be on the recording that people watch for a lifetime. All right. So just write "I consent" in the chat. So now we have that out of the way. Let's go ahead and get started. Incredible greetings, everyone. I am Shakia, the professor of HSing 365, and this is our open house and meet and greet for those who are on via Zoom. And tomorrow we'll have the official orientation for our print and cut workshop. And I forgot to hit record. I said the consent, and then I forgot to hit record. So let's run that back, shall we? Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Let's run it back because I forgot to hit record. Can't have that. No recording. Alrighty, there we go. Now we are recording. Incredible greetings and welcome to 365 Creative Academy's Print and Cut Workshop Open House. Today is our meet and greet, and tomorrow we have the official orientation where we're going to really dive in and kind of go over. Why am I blurry? Am I blurry to you guys? Is it buffering? Because we had
no.
We had weather issues and my playback looks blurry. Okay, maybe it's just my internet and the weather issues that we're having, but man, it looks crazy. But yeah, so tomorrow we are going to go through what you will need for each session so that you can be prepared. We do have a schedule that is available. Now, some of you guys may have been able to register for all of the sessions, but those links will change. All of the links were not supposed to be there for the Zoom sessions because it's for those, depending on when they come in. Some people may only do 1 month. So those links, if you did pre-register for September, October, November, and December, those links will be changing. The new links will be posted at the beginning of each of those months, as each print and cut workshop session will take place on the second Thursday of every single month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here via Zoom. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to go over, that schedule. I'm going to really break down like the beginner type stuff, understanding your blades, the true anatomy of each printer, of each cutter, going over like some of the projects, going over the materials that you will need for each of the sessions so you can get it early, like, getting printable transfers for shirts, whether you choose Jet Pro 3G, Pen and Gear has some, Avery has some, there's ones for darks, there's ones for lights. So being able to get those items, getting your card stocks, 65, 80, 100, laminate sheets, all of those things will be outlined tomorrow. There will also be links, if you want convenient links, to our Amazon storefront so that you can get those items. And then as far as putting them together, there will be optional things such as the foam dots. So dimensional dots, like if you're making like a cake topper, things of that nature, you want it to be raised. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over like adhesives for things that we are going to layer. So different adhesives that I use, glue guns, all of that kind of good jazz. We are going to go over tomorrow in the official orientation. It was supposed to be tonight, but actually it's a happy accident. Glad that happened because we get to kind of have this this open house, this open discussion, and you can ask questions about different print and cut projects. If you have suggestions for different projects that you wanted to do. So I like when God puts happy accidents in my lap. Definitely like that. All right. So like I said, it's going to be monthly. For those of you who are not fully enrolled, this is a paid, it's a monthly membership. It's only $3.65 right now. So get in early to lock in on that at $3.65. Now, each month, the first month enrollment will go up because then you'll have access to a lot more. So it's starting off really low. So the sooner you get in, the least amount that you will pay. All right. For me, print and cut changed my business. Okay. It definitely changed my business. I was one where I cut everything by hand. And I mean everything, with X-Acto knives, box cutters, scissors. I was cutting everything. And I don't mean I've gone from like little ones to like large ones. And those little ones are really, really tedious. I'm pretty nifty with pretty skilled when it comes to scissors and getting good cuts. I know some people are like, look, I can't even cut a straight line with a ruler. So I definitely need to learn how to do print and cuts, but I'm pretty good with it. But it used to make my hand bad. I was an event planner in a former life. Still kind of am a little bit, but I used to make all of the things. My tagline was DIY by a professional. I now say DIM instead of DIY, do it myself. But my tagline was DIY by a professional. And I like to do those more like fun things and like handmade things for centerpieces, for cutouts for treat tables, cupcake toppers, cake toppers for for party favors, like all the things. I just love doing all those. My sister's baby shower, we had sea creatures hanging from the ceiling because her baby shower was under the sea, which you're going to see an example of what's that thing called? The invitation. And it was under the sea. So I had was it blue plastic tablecloths to wear like different shades of it. And they were draped on the ceiling so that we were under. I had like seaweed hanging. And then I had all of the sea creatures hanging from the ceiling as if like we were under them. And of course the tables had a bunch of fish, and I can't tell you how many of them. This was before I got my very first Cameo. I actually got my Cameo for her baby shower, but still ended up not using because I was still kind of getting used to it because I was a Cricut girl. I did, of course, it was cartridges back then. I didn't really care for them. I was one who used Sure Cuts a lot and Make the Cut before Provo Craft. If you didn't know, that's what Cricut was called before. That was their parent company, Provo Craft. They sued those companies and they won. And then when you did the firmware update, which now we know, don't do firmware updates. You can lose access to things. But when you did the firmware update, you lost access to be able to cut directly to your Cricut machine from programs like Sure Cuts a lot and Make the Cut. Well, that didn't work for me. I don't like those cartridges. So I had, I sought out a different machine. It was between the Cameo, which I have the very first one. Ooh, whoa. Sorry. They lost, 1 second. YouTube and Facebook lost. Uh-oh. Please hold. I know you guys can probably still, okay, wait. You guys will be able to hear me on Facebook and YouTube, but you guys have lost video. 1 second. Okay. Let's see what happened here. I'm so sorry. Let's see. We have lost our connection. Okay, I think we are, there we go. I see the blue light. Blue light. All right, let me make sure that we are back up and running because I have the blue light now. All right. Elgato face cam. Uh-oh, I don't know why. Oh, okay. It's seeing two different cameras. There we go. All right, you guys are back. But like I was saying, I ended up getting the Cameo. They had the SD. That was like the original machine from Silhouette America. But I have 3 of these. I started out with one. I started out with Designer Edition. I also had Silhouette Connect, which allowed me to cut directly from Illustrator. Most people don't know that you can do that. That actually still exists. It's called Silhouette Connect. And if you are someone that uses Illustrator, you are able to cut directly from Illustrator because that's a vector-based program. So I've never really like had to experience Silhouette Studio without one of the upgrades. I've always had, the upgrades. But that's the first thing that I got. And I did, my first print and cut was, this is going to go way back, Sophia the First. That particular cutout was one of my very, very first print and cuts. Once I finally got into it, I did like vinyl and all that stuff first. And then Sophia the First was the first cutout I did. And I do believe I have her. So I try and keep it. Try to keep all of them. I'm not sure. But we're going to go through. I've kept so many of the projects that I've done over the years. So we are going to go through that. Some of the things that you can do with print and cut. Oh, I don't see my Sophia the First. And of course, the floor will be open for questions. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's field a few questions first, because we'll see if we have some of the things that you guys are inquiring about in our little bag of tricks here for print and cut. So if you are on Zoom and you have questions for moi as to what, question about the workshop or about what you can do with print and cut, what you would like to be able to do with print and cut, I would love to hear from you guys, like what you expect to get out of this, what you want to get out of this, and be able to be proficient in. So the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Trellis. Oh, I'm sorry. Did somebody else?
No, it's you. Go ahead.
Okay. I would make a joke about long time listener, first time caller, but you know better than that. So, but with me, with my 2, I loved it up until I started getting into print and cut. I tried all of it, and unfortunately, I don't have it up now. I'm looking at it; it's looking at me. But what I experienced with it was, I tried all the tricks. I tried every trick that you told me with Melissa, other people, and I could never get it to be consistent. Okay. I put light, weight, but I was thinking I was doing a lot of other things prior to print and cut. I looked in there to see if there was possibly some vinyl or paper stuck in there, and I found a couple of things, but I tried it probably about a month ago, and it was still getting those inconsistent results. Just like, okay, when I finally would get it to do it, I write every single thing I did, and then I would try to replicate that, and it wouldn't do it again. But and that's kind of where I kind of gave up on it until I got my 3, and it was just like I kind of looked at it like, you're probably gonna do me bad like a man. You're gonna do it, but I did it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get personal.
No, good. I love it.
But I tried the 3, and it was just like, boom, the first time, and it was consistent. Okay. So I was thinking, if it any repair tricks, because I hate to take it apart, and well, at this point, the warranty's void anyway, it's over anyway, because I've had it for so many years. But I'm always thinking, what if my 3 gets sick, quote unquote, and I have to go back to my 2, even though I have my 4, it's a 15-inch 4. Okay. But I would like to be able to do that, be able to count on all my machines to be able to do that. I'm just kind of at a loss of what why I can't get those consistent results that I get from my 3 and my 4. So that was a long-winded way of saying that my 2 is stubborn and won't do it. It does what it wants.
So here's the good thing about this workshop is, so we're going to start off with a project just to kind of see with your machines. There can be a number of variables, and each time, you will learn something new about your machine. Is it the blade? Is it the mat? So project days are every second Thursday, but we will have dedicated troubleshooting days. And I've also built in a pro day, because the pros are a totally different beast than the other ones. So just making sure that you guys understand how to utilize your pro. Now, it's the old pro, not the new MK2, I think is what it's called. So not that one, because I don't really have it, but I have experience with the pro. I don't have one because I don't have the space for it, but it's very, very unique in where you have to line things up. Once you kind of get it though, and you are able to market, it makes your life is a lot easier then. But we will have a dedicated day for troubleshooting machines, as well as a dedicated day for those who are pro users, to make sure that you are able to use it. I don't want you to kind of be in the workshop and it's like, okay, my pro isn't doing any of what you are doing. So our first project, which is next week Thursday, it's kind of like it's like a like when kids go to school, that's not a pop quiz, but it's like the intro, it's like, let's just see where your machines are, what's kind of going on. So we have the project to create decals for party cups and things of that nature, just so that you can see where the issues are. Then the following month is where we're going to now break it all, just rip it all back, and kind of start from ground zero and figure out what's going on with each of the machines, what could the issues be. So that's going to be kind of like a troubleshooting session. And then we'll go back into projects, after that. So that's the joy of this workshop, is if it's a fixable issue, we'll find it and fix that issue. Okay. Anyone else? What is it that you guys want to be able to do with print and cut? Go ahead, Shreya.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
When you say we're going back to the basic, does that mean for people who got the Cameo but haven't used it yet, but it made it way out the box?
Yes.
We're going back.
So it's like understanding your machine. This has nothing to, okay, let me first say this. This has nothing to do with the program itself as far as designing and things of that nature. I have strategically designed each lesson for so that you can learn certain things about using your machine. So it's going to be understanding your cut settings, understanding your machine, things of that nature, kind of troubleshooting some things. So that's what that's going to be. Tomorrow you're going to learn how to load your machine. So if you've never loaded it, you've never done anything with it, how to load your machine. Tomorrow we're going to go over mats and calibrating, because remember, we're going to do our first project. So we are going to go over calibrating mats. I recommend doing it even if you have a silhouette mat, but definitely if you have a non-silhouette mat. I pretty much do Cricut mats because I got a case of them. Most people will go to Amazon and get those third-party mats because they're a little bit cheaper than the Amazon ones. I got those at a great deal because I end up getting 2 cases of them. They were on sale. Then it was another discount code. I think it was Black Friday. So I have mats galore, and I only use 12 by 24 inch mats. I don't really intentionally purchase 12 by 12. So I get a lot of use out of my mats, but it's going to be the same process to calibrate it. So we're going to go through calibration tomorrow. We're going to go through how to load it. You're going to understand your blades. If you have a manual or what's called a ratchet blade, the auto blade for the 3, and then the auto blade for the 4 because they are different. So we're going to go through the anatomy of the machines, the blades, calibrating your mat, and then just showing you how to load it. That way, next week, Thursday on the 14th, we can just get straight into it. So you'll be able to watch that playback. You'll have a whole week to watch the playback to make sure that you understand how to turn it on, how to load it, all that kind of good jazz.
All right. Second question. Are you touching on this cricket at all? Or
Nope. This is straight silhouette print cut. I don't even have a cricket, so I can't do cricket.
I thought I'd try.
Hold on one second. So, Joanna, yes, you can still join. So there is a link in the description of this video. We have not started yet. And if you want to just kind of join the Zoom, you can create a free account on our website. That is also in the description. But it's learn.365creativeacademy.com. So learn.365creativeacademy.com. Okay. So I can't see your comments, but so it's Zoom. So I'm on Zoom, they take priority, and then I'm coming over here. Okay. So I did see your comment. So this is our website for the Academy. You can go there and create a free account, and you can actually attend and be in the Zoom room tonight. So you still have time to get on tonight and ask any questions where you'll get first priority. Because I look at these comments last. I'm kind of looking over here and answering their questions. So you can get in the room to have priority when it comes to asking questions, getting your question answered, and you can attend tomorrow's orientation. Tomorrow, it won't be live at all. It's free. It's an open house, but you have to be, you have to have a free account on our Academy site. Or you can just go straight to the workshop and sign up for that. The link for that is in the description of the video if you would just like to sign up and just join the workshop tonight. And the first project kicks off next week, okay? Ooh, what the heck is in my hand? All righty. So, heard about this class. It's only for individuals with a Cameo. So silhouette machines. I'm not doing cricket. Even though I have a Romeo, this is not for the Caesar, Romeo, or Juliet. I have a StarCraft. We're not doing StarCraft. This is all silhouette machines. So whether it's a Cameo 1, 2, 3, or 4, or if you have a portrait. Now the portrait, there's now 4 of them, but you'll be able to follow along no matter which generation of the portrait you have, but not for anything else. So do you have a portrait star, or you are wanting, like Sharia, trying to get me to do cricket print and cut? Or you don't have any machines? You don't have any cutting machines at all? Oh, so you have a cricket. Yeah. So, cricket questions could have been asked in the Creative Lounge. Like that one was free for all when we have the pro calls for me to be able to help you with that. But as far as me doing dedicated lessons for cricket, I just can't do it. It's just too much. You got to flatten, you got to do this. You're limited in size. Silhouette, you don't have those limitations when it comes to print and cut, and I absolutely love it. Go ahead. Oh, so if you want to go ahead and unmute, I see your hand is raised. You can go ahead and unmute.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to learn the silhouette, but I just haven't purchased a machine yet. So that's why I was wondering, is this class for people with that already have the machine?
No. So it's to learn your machine and knowing like what cut settings. There's going to be difference like in how to adjust your cut settings, how to save them. That's going to be the most important part, is like really learning your machine and how it operates with different material, because I don't use any of silhouette settings. I don't know what they were testing their stuff on, but them silhouette settings are not where it's at. That is not the jam. So it's learning how to actually utilize the machine. So it is best to have one. Now it's a low barrier of entry. So if you would like to kind of join until you actually get a machine and you want to learn it before you invest in a machine, you definitely can do that. but we are pretty much focusing on print and cut for Silhouette. I mean, I'm not showing, this is not really design, like how to design for it and then be able to take it over to your Cricut, because we've done that before. We've had classes and I have like my Silhouette to like understanding, like converting from Cricut to Silhouette. I've done some sessions where I'm like, okay, you can design over here and then you can save it as an SVG or a JPEG, take it over to Cricut Design Space. Like if it's like for print and cut, save it as a JPEG, take it over to Cricut Design Space. You'll go ahead, remove all the stuff around it, and it will be set up for print and cut. So I've done sessions on that, like free live sessions, but I don't have a Cricut to ever go through that final process to really show you how to do it. So I don't offer classes for that. And this particular one, I'm providing all of the class material, but they're going to be Silhouette files. So unless you want to kind of come just to kind of have access to the files and then you're going to convert them and try and cut them with your Cricut, but I am not making concessions for any programs other than any programs or machines other than the Silhouette machines.
Okay. Because I want to get one, but I just watching when I watch your videos, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to understand the machine because I'm already used to the Cricut.
This is a great opportunity.
When you show it, you do show how easy it is, but I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
So, I mean, you can go on marketplaces. So if you don't want to invest, so like going into the stores or going online now, it's pretty much the 5, which they made the price a lot higher. One, the economy is just different, so machines cost more. But every time they come out with a new machine, they increase the price on it. So you can go to like, eBay is like okay, but a lot of times like the marketplaces, I got my 2 via OfferUp, and it was brand new in the box. And she got it, she never used it, so it's brand new in the box. So places like OfferUp. In different marketplaces, you can look there for any of the older machines. It works the same way. I know for some, they're like, well, my 2 never did this, never did that. To know that I love my 2. It is my favorite one. I mean, I've grown to love the 4, but the 2 is one of my favorites because it has the repeat job function on it. Love that. When I'm doing multiple like sticker sheets, all that, love that function. The 3 has that as well. The 4 does not have the repeat job. They brought it back with the 5, but for the ones I have, the 1 and the 4 don't have a repeat job. So that's why I love my 2, but I love this one. And I have 3 of these because all of the other ones have some sort of touchscreen. I'm always worried about this one because it has a little crack on it. And if the crack goes too far, you won't be able to utilize any of the functions. Hold on, let me move out of the way so that they can see over here. Oh yeah. So with that one, you can see it's just flat. It's just, you just see colored lights and stuff on it. This one has like an actual screen. And then when they came out with this one, people kept dropping stuff on this one, and it messed up the screen. Once the screen doesn't work, you can't utilize the machine at all. But there are people where you can't see anything on this screen, but you can still use the button. So as long as you didn't get water in these or damage this part, it's like a tone. When you are doing, and when you're loading with a mat, it's a long tone. It's a short tone. No, longer. Yeah, when you do it with the mat, it's a longer, like it goes in to load in. If it was set to no mat, it's like because you're going to cut right at the top. There's like extra space on the mat. So even if this never worked, you literally just go up and down and hit enter and listen for the tone, and you'll know if it's for mat or no mat, and then just being able to hit it again to go. That's just to load it. You send it from the machine. For me, I think I do like that. Most people, like with the Cricut, you're used to hitting it on the machine to make it go. For the 1 and the 2, you have to do it like load it and then go to the machine and send it to cut. The 3 and the 4 does have a feature where you can load it first. You can send it to. No, you can't. So no, it's just, you still have to go to the computer. because what happens is it'll tell you there's no media, but you can like just hit the load button, and then when you're ready, you just put your mat and it just catches it. But you have to use Silhouette Studio. So that's one of the major differences between Silhouette and Cricut, is going to the system to send it, versus Cricut, you just hit that button. So this one, no matter what happens, I can always use it as long as like this part doesn't get damaged. If this gets messed up, and for a lot of people it was, which is why they made the 3 the way they made this one, with a cover over it, so that it protects the screen. And then this one had no screen whatsoever. But if it like something drops on it, and let's say it's too close to where the arrows are at the bottom, or like when you're loading things, you can't use it. So they've changed over the years, and that's when I say we're going to go through the anatomy. That's what I mean. Like, no matter which which machine you have, which is why when we first started, I asked, which machine do you have? I wanted to kind of get a gauge of that. You guys are going to get an email that's going to also ask like a survey of which machine you have. I want to kind of know that, so that I know, like, because if it's a lot of people that don't have the one, I won't spend a lot of time on it. Like, especially if that's your only machine, I won't spend as much time on it, even though it's one of my favorites. So I'll go based off, like, I'll probably spend more time on the machines that like the majority of the people have. So be on the lookout for that email with that survey asking which machine you have. And if you are enrolled, please make sure that you actually fill that out and send it back to us, so that we can make sure that, you know, we are allotting the time correctly. Or, you know, if you have a portrait. Now, for the portrait, I only have a 3. I did say I would probably look and see if Marketplaces has the original and the 2, but I only have a 3, and I'm actually going to unbox that before next week's session. So you can learn and just kind of see what the process is. You can still look at Silhouette Studio and see all of the tools and all of the functions, all of the settings that we're going to talk about. And if you wanted to, you can go in and technically save them. Even though you don't have a machine, you can go in and like save certain settings in case you ever do get a machine. Then, you know, you'll already kind of have those, or just write them down and kind of go from there. But at $365, you know, whether it's like 1 month, you can just do 1 month, you'll get the full orientation tomorrow and the first project, and then kind of go from there. You can decide if you want to get the machine or not. Yeah, see, someone says, I got my Cameo 3 for $50 off of Marketplace. All right, so keep your questions coming, put them in the chat, or raise your hand if you have questions. I am going to go over some of the things that you can create with Print and Cut. So one of my top things, like as of late, and I make quite a bit of money. If you are someone who is learning this machine and learning this process to monetize, you know, for a business, I love a good fan. You can make handheld signs without the fan. This is 11 by 17. So this is one of the major differences between a Cameo and a Cricut. With any of the machines, you can go up to 12 by 18 paper. If you can find 12 by 24 inch paper and your printer prints 12 inches wide, you can use that. Most commonly, like I pretty much just stick to 11 by 17. I used to have 12 by 18 paper until Hammer Mill lost their mind and the paper's horrible. 13 by 19 doesn't work with any machine except the Pro, because it has a 24 by 24 inch mat. All the other ones are only 12, even though it's 24 inches long, it's only 12 inches wide. So you can't really use 13 by 19 paper because the registration marks won't be in a readable area. But this is made from 11 by 17. It's a straight cut. You can go edge to edge, which we're going to see tomorrow, like how far you can go. It's just that anything outside of your registration or your registration lines, it won't cut by the machine, but you can easily go in and just snip those little areas. So you get a whole lot more surface space with the Cameos than you would with any of the Cricut machines, except for maybe the Venture. But even then, right? So you're still limited. So even though it accepts larger papers, it still limits the size print that you can put on 11x17. There's some restrictions for a Silhouette as well because there is registration marks, but you still get a lot more space. And our box is not like a solid box. It's only like a square and then an L bracket and an L bracket. So you can have your elements kind of flow throughout those open areas and then just manually cut. So I love, things like this. So signs. Top money makers for me would be grad season. I don't even have to focus on a lot of the other stuff. I'm normally booked and busy, whether it's one with a picture or it's one that's just text based. I'm normally pretty busy with the what's these things called? Fans, handheld fans. So I've done them for things like graduations. I've done them for sporting events. We also have done them for memorials. So you can make fans with print and cut. That's one of my top things. Of course, all of the party favors and things like that, the things that people are making for back to school, these are all straight, except for like if you do the Elmer's one, you have to kind of cut that, but you can do print and cuts for all of like the stuff like this. So this one is a full box. So if you don't want to cut it by hand, you definitely can put that. Actually, I don't want to open this one. I'll show this one. So see, it's a full box. This can be done via print, stuff like this via print and cut. Invitations I've done, even if they do not have like a full graphic design, if you have text in the middle, and especially if you're putting a design, this is something that you still need to do using the print and cut feature so that it cuts in the right spot and your text and things are not shifted. So this is just text, and I end up doing it with a laser printer and there's foiling over it, but you have to use the print and cut feature for something like this. Print and cut is not limited to just full printed, like full color graphics, okay? See, I wish I had print and cut when I did these. I did this by hand. So I cut out this piece here, the bottom of this car, because it moves like this. Wait, we'll cover that. Then it goes back. There's an address on there. So, but in order for it to move, I have since set this one up as a print and cut file because there's a certain parts you have to cut out and some you're not supposed to cut. Actually, you know what? No, I can see scissor marks. This one I did cut out by hand. I don't know, because I was like back here. I'm like, is this one of the ones I did with print and cut? But yeah, all of this. There used to be flags on. I know this is the one I did because the print and cut one has the flags hanging down, and this one isn't it. But to be able to cut out sections like this, it cuts out the little notch, all of that. So this is print and cut. So I do some pretty cool things. This was pretty much like how my sister's invitation was. So this is something that, although if you have a paper trimmer, you can do that, but Silhouette can also cut this for you in just a regular shape. And then on my sister's invitation, these guys were individually cut and they were pop dotted on. I don't know if I have that one in here or not. Oh yeah, see, here it is. So these are really small ones, but they're little pop dots. So these are print and cut to just add to. This takes this invitation from like the value of it and how much you can charge. Just being able to add little elements like this you now can upgrade and upcharge for ones like this. And then like on my sister's own, some of the small starfish were done. I also glued down real sand to it and then put the starfish like on top of that. So from this to this, just by knowing how to do print and cut, and there are some pretty intricate cuts when you're talking about that piece of what's that thing, like that spread, like the water coming out of their blowhole, like that's a really soft, like intricate piece. You wouldn't be able to cut that by hand. So print and cut helps with stuff like this. Okay. Again, one that is, this is all text, but for this wedding invitation, in order for it to properly cut around this piece right here, which this one I've broken off since then, so I can put this ribbon in, this had to be done via print and cut. I think I have another one where that's not broken off. Oh yeah, so here is, this one is going side to side. So you have to have print and cut in order for this to cut properly for invitations like this. And again, that becomes an upsell. Yes, Sharia.
So for print and cut, are we going to go over doing the fans, like a simple version of doing the fans with print and cut?
So I'll tell you, if you have not seen the lineup, I will go over what the current lineup is until December. This is something that's only once a month. It's not like every single week. So it will take time to get to certain things. But as you're going through different projects, using cardstock, using Jet Pro 3G, using like sticker paper, things of that nature, you're going to learn your machines. Once you learn them, it's going to be, the same as far as cutting them. We are not going to go over designing for fans, but I will have, like, let's say one that is like a bigger size so that you can go ahead and print and cut that. And by the time we get to that, you'll probably already know the proper settings, because we would have gone through a project that has used 65 or 85 or 110, like, or 100-pound paper. So it's about learning the machine. It doesn't matter what you're cutting, you need to know the proper settings to be able to cut through that material. You need to know the proper settings to not do a die cut, which cuts all the way through, and to only do a kiss cut so that it peels off, where you see all of that is still left behind, and you are able to just peel this part off. This is called a kiss cut. So you have to know the right settings to be able to do that, and it doesn't cut all the way through. It was so funny. I was actually just looking at that yesterday. There was someone that was showing like a cut, and it cut through whatever the material, the media was, and it cut all the way through their mat. That's because they don't know the proper settings, and it was up too high. Sometimes people will cut and it doesn't cut all the way through. It's too low. You are going to learn the proper settings throughout this program.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just go to this really quick, because I can't. Oh wait, here we go. It's actually front and center. So the upcoming sessions would be next week. It's going to be like the party cups, and that's, I'm not sure if you guys have seen when I've done them, and that's like trending right now. Oops. Oh, hold on, it fell on the floor. So I end up doing like these. So there's that one. This one doesn't have a laminate over it. This side does. And there is a difference in cutting it if you have the cold laminate or if you laminate it. There's a difference in cutting with laminate and with no laminate. So this will be the first project that we do. So go get, just some styrofoam cups. Or you can just get plastic cups, or just put it on a cup that you have like at home. So you see this is on clear cups. These are more styrofoam. So this will be the first project that we do next week. All right. And then the workshop 2 is going back down to the basics and just kind of like, all right, what was your experience with that first project? What did you notice? Let's kind of explore that, figure out where issues are. We're going to troubleshoot it. I'm going to, break down a lot of the basics, like really now go deep into understanding print and cut. And like, let's say if it's intricate versus it being something that's like not so intricate like this, right? Why does it cut this way? Going over things like the overcut. What does that do? That's going to be down to the basics. That's the second. But I want you to just kind of not be apprehensive. I don't want you to worry about being perfect. I want you to just work on the project and just get a print and cut done, whether it's perfect or not, because that's going to be the starting point for you to figure out what you need to focus on and work on. Okay. Workshop 3 is going to be cardstock based. So it's going to be the same thing in knowing how to do things like the fans, because we're going to cut through cardstock. Now, these are going to be smaller things because it is a little bit different in like the speed and things like that. If you're doing something really small compared to when you're doing something large, adjusting your settings just a little bit can help, because with the smaller ones, the way your blade is kind of moving, sometimes it doesn't have enough space to fully cut through. So it can be a little bit different in cutting those really small, intricate things compared to something that's larger, like a fan, where the majority of it is just a circle and just straight lines and not a lot of back and forth, right? But that one, we're going to do tags and labels. So we're going to kind of keep it small before we go big. Workshop number 4 in November is cupcake toppers. And workshop number 5 in December will be printable transfers for garments, both for lights and darks. With the ones for darks, you do a kiss cut and you peel it off to be able to put it on your shirt and press it. The paper or the material for lights, you need to cut it all the way through. Some people, because it's lights, they will just press it, but that gives you a box on your shirt with the emulsion on it. But if you are able to do a print and cut and you're cutting all that away, it's just where the design is. You have to put an offset on it, but it's just where the design is, and you don't have to worry about that large box. So in December, we're going to do that. That's going to be great for making, like Christmas Day shirts and things of that nature. So that's the workshop in December. So we're going through a lot of the key things. We're going to go through some sticker paper, some cardstock, heavier cardstock, and then lighter cardstock with the cupcake toppers. And that's going to be kind of a layered one. So it's going to be cutting out 2 different things. Like, how do you have a print but also have the offset for it so that you can kind of layer it? So that one is a little bit of layering, and it's going to be a lighter cardstock. So you're going to see the difference in cutting your heavier cardstock versus your lighter cardstock. Told you, I'm very, very strategic in how I did these. And then, of course, like I said, the printable transfers. All right. Stop moving. So I've also used print and cut. Even though you cannot cut foam, I'll use print and cut to give me the proper outline. Cutting through adhesive, like let's say you just kind of printed it and you just put it on your foam board. Cutting through the adhesive messes up your blade, because now you're getting all that gunk on your blade and you have to change out your blade a lot more. We learned that in the foam board program. So if you're not part of that, you can still join that as well. But I prefer to do print and cuts versus just putting it on there and cutting it through for that reason. So I use it for stuff like this. I'll use my print and cut. I'll put it on my foam board. And by having it cut out, it's a little bit easier. Now, we're not doing foam board because that's not print and cut. Like, that's foam board. But you can take it, put it on a piece of foam board, and then go ahead and cut it. If you want to learn how to cut foam board, we do have a class for that as well. So I've done that. This is from my niece's first birthday. So it was a part of like a centerpiece. We've done, Super Bowl party stuff is in here. So these were my little sandwich picks. So we put a pick on it, and these were on like the little sandwiches and stuff. Well, wrong way. The sandwiches and stuff, Super Bowl. So there's so many ways, like so many ways that you can use. This was what, Seahawks and Patriots, I think. Yeah, Patriots and Seahawks. So many ways that you can use print and cut. And then with me, I'll probably show you ways like things or projects that you didn't even think of. This one right here was really cool. If you know football, you know the downs marker. This still requires print and cut to get a perfect circle. Then there was a stick, and then I did another print and cut for a cone. And it was like for popcorn and like little snacks like that, but it looked like a down marker. So we made that out of print and cut as well. I thought I had the down marker, the bottom part of the down marker in here, but I do not. Actually just posted. Actually, I just made, this came from a senior crown. I don't know how many years ago. And this was to mat. We do what's called matting to make it a little bit thicker. So how do you go and get the exact cut without it having any print on it? That's one of the projects that we will go through pretty much in 2026, but we will go through that as well with matting. Oh, see, here it is. I do have it. So these were on the front and side. So I had this little cone. So in order to make sure that these fit on there, because the cone, I couldn't really do that as a whole print and cut because it was just huge and it just took up too much, like, for that. So I just did the cone in regular cardstock, and then these were glued to the side. You have to have print and cut in order to have these cut perfectly. Okay. Oh, she says the slide out invitation was cute. Thank you. Thank you. So there's that. Then in this one, we have, these were for a baby shower. I forgot what we used these on though. These were extras. So you can see really intricate cuts. And this has an outline. It's matted. So there is, I'm not sure if you can see, there's an outline on that. There's no pop dots. This is just glued. These were hand cut though. These were also hand cut. I don't know why these are not my print cut. These are just, when I'm teaching about parties, I kind of come and refer to this bag. I think most of these were, although this is not, you could, if you feel like you just suck at cutting, you definitely could do print and cut. But I've done like just designing in Silhouette Studio, like birth announcements. This was the baptism invitation. And we have all sorts of, I have all sorts of invitations in here that have been designed and then either cut by hand or cut with the machine to get precision cuts. Now these were print and cut. The other ones were just way too big. These were done with print and cut. These were from MJ's second birthday, and he's now 14. So, but yeah, you can do so much with print and cut. And I'm going to make sure that you understand how to use your machine to get the most out of print and cuts. Is $199 a good price for a brand new Cameo 4 Plus? Yeah, because it was more than that, when it first came out. And when you look at the cost of a 5, that's not bad. If that's the lowest you can find, if you want to kind of do some more research, it's not a bad price. I think that's pretty much average for like most people now, because you can't really find them. The ones at like my Walmart were that price for the longest. And then I finally was able to get one for $99. And same thing with this one. It was like $150 for the longest. And it finally went down to $45, and I scooped it up. So check like Walmarts and places like that may have them, because once they like start to roll in the 5, you might find really good deals on them there as well. But that's not a bad price.
Amazon had a good price on it too, because I think when I got mine, it might have been like $150 or something a couple months ago. When I got it, it was real cheap on Amazon too.
I will look for that and post the link if I can find it. Let me see over here. So I signed up for the Zoom for tomorrow and registered for the classes. Also, I'm excited for this. Glad I signed up. We can't wait to see you tomorrow, Yana. Any other questions? So this was kind of get those questions out. Make sure, you understand how it works. Why should I learn print and cut? So this is now your opportunity, no matter if you're watching from Zoom, Facebook, YouTube. The floor is open for questions. If there are no questions, then we will get out of here. We've been on for over an hour. Almost, well, y'all been on for over an hour. They've on 55 minutes. Don't be shy. Like, I like engagement. No question is a silly question. I don't do the dumb questions, because if you don't know, you don't know. So I encourage engagement. The only way for you to get the most out of this is to ask questions, even if it's the simplest, what you think is a really, really simple question. If you don't want to ask the room, the one thing that's great about Zoom is you can send a message directly to me. So if you don't want to post it to everyone, if you go into the chat, you find my name, it will send a message directly to me and only me. And I know if I see it there, I won't say the name. I'll just address the question if you are a little bit apprehensive about asking certain questions. But we want to make sure you feel, like you're in a safe space to get the help that you need so that you can rock out with print and cut. Yes, Star.
The class, is it a one-time fee or is monthly?
It's monthly. Right now it is set at $3.65 per month.
Okay.
Should I be ready to use everything tomorrow? No. I mean, if you want to have your machine so that you can kind of see how to load it, if you want to just practice loading it, looking at the anatomy of your blades, if you want to go so we're going to go through. Okay, this one doesn't have a blade. Do you have a blade? Yeah. So there's a little contraption that comes with these, but on each and every machine, there is a little hole all the way to the left, whether you're looking at it, to your left. And you will put that in there and you line it up. Hold on. And you will be able to adjust it. So if you want to just kind of practice on that. If you have the 3 and its auto blade, it's a little bit different than the 4's auto blade. You technically, just poke myself. You can adjust the setting of this and be able to use it as a manual blade. So you change it to manual. So, it's missing the cap, but that's why it cut me. But if you have yours, you literally push down. Oh, I can still push down on it. So I'm not sure if you can see. Watch that number. You see it moving? So you'll be able to click it to move it and then just use it in manual mode. So these are all of the little things that we're going to go over tomorrow. So if you want to have your machine, you know what? I'm sorry. We are going to go through calibrating a mat. So I'll post it for you to know what you'll need. The only thing you'll need is your machine. Of course, you have to have the blade, and then you're going to need tape. So whether you use blue painter's tape, masking tape, it doesn't matter the size because it's going to cut it down anyway. We are going to go through calibrating mats tomorrow. So if you want to do a little bit of cutting on, if you've never used it, you want to set, just changing your blade, this we are doing tomorrow, calibrating a mat. But as far as the actual projects, that does not start until next week, the 14th. And you will have a full list of everything that you will need. Links if you want to go and purchase it from Amazon, all of that, like the sticker paper that I'm going to be using, all that stuff will be provided for you before next week. She said, I'll sneak and watch. I'm at work.
So quick question. If we have a new machine, is there anything that I need to go ahead and download in order to prepare for tomorrow's class?
Silhouette Studio. The same Silhouette Studio works for everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So all you need, I mean, if you have the 5 Pro, you have to be on version 5. But all the other ones works from like version 4. And it's literally the layout of it might look a little different between version 5 and version 4. But like for version 4, everything from 4.3 to 4.5, especially as relates to cutting, looks exactly the same. And everybody should be at least on version 4 or higher. Now, if you are somebody, you have an older system and you have version 3, I still have some screenshots and I'll still be able to walk you through it if you are on version 3. Or I can probably bring my laptop in here because I still have version 3.6 on my laptop. I love that version. When I really need to get really intricate traces, I go to my 3 and then I just save the Silhouette file and then open it over here. Version 3 does tracing a million times better than version 4. A million times better. So I still have that if I have to, like if there's anyone that definitely like they have an older system, they have who's the 3, I'll do that just so I can show where to go and you can visually see it. Or I just might have you share your screen. Like that's probably the easiest way to do it. If you have version 3, share your screen. Y'all know I love a good share your screen. I like to see what you guys are seeing because my screen might be different. So I'm all for you sharing your screen. That's the one thing that has always been a consistent thing in our classes is you are able to share your screen so that I can see what you're seeing and make sure that you understand, what we're doing. Oh, these were more cutouts. You can see you can do some really big cutouts and some really, her hair is falling apart because look at how thin that area is right there. Let's see. I thought I saw something pop up over here. Hold on. Is everything you're going to show I'm going to be able to do with my Cameo Pro? So yes, you will be. Do you have the Cameo 4 Pro or the Cameo 5 Pro? So even doing things and adding little pictures in them. Once you learn to design, you'll be able to do that. These were a bunch of candy apple toppers. So the candy apples were like the dress, and then they were just sitting on top. It came out so freaking cute when she did them. So yeah, let me know. Do you have a Cameo 4 Pro or Cameo 5 Pro? While you're answering, I will say this. I do have a dedicated day for scheduled, not this month. It's going to be in September for the Pro. That's why I'm going to send out the survey, find out how many people have the Pro. But I do have it on my schedule. And because I was like, if no one really has a Pro, there's no sense in me doing the session. That's why it's not on there. But I do have a dedicated day for the Pro, because it can be a little bit different, than the other ones because of where you have to line it up at. Tomorrow's going to be a really good day to join. If you have a Pro, make sure that you're on, and I won't be live on Facebook and YouTube. You have to be in the academy or signed up for the workshop in order to attend the orientation. But I'm going to kind of help you identify and see where you're supposed to look at to kind of know what to do with the Pro. But it is a little bit different because it's so low. It's not open. When we go through the anatomy of these, you're going to see how different the roller placement is and all those things on these compared to the Pro. So that's why we do have a dedicated day for a Pro built in, just so that you can truly learn the anatomy. And then after that, and where to really line stuff up at. If you are experiencing issues, you won't experience those issues going forward with the rest of the workshops.
Shakira, quick question.
Yes.
I know, again, I think I'm grown, and I'll adjust I'll adjust the height and width of the, I guess, I'm trying to think of what it's called, the area that you're not supposed to go out.
Registration marks?
Thank you, the registration marks.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, I guess, any tips to not go too far or just leave them alone?
We're going to go over that tomorrow. Anatomy, registration marks, all of that, going over what's your max space, because you can push them all the way out. As long as you have a printer that doesn't cut off the margins, there's a way to like push them out and get like a lot of extra space on it. So if you have like an Epson, because Epson's margin is only 0.125. When it comes to like Canons, HPs, like those, especially it's more so their bottom margin. If you go push it down too far, it's going to cut it off. Now, that part is something that we will go over workshop 2. So for next week, when we go over it, you're not gonna push anything out. The standard settings is what we will work with, because when we do workshop 2, I'm gonna have you do a blank page. Like whatever your printer is, you are going to print out a blank page at the different settings so you can determine what is the max height or max like push out that you can do for your printer, especially if it's just an 8.5 by 11 like type printer. You can't push those insets out. So you're going to go through all of that. I'm going to show the max space tomorrow, but workshop 2 is where we're really going to dive into that as far as pushing all of those inset marks out. Okay, to give it a thumbs up. Hope all well. You have a class tomorrow. So tomorrow is the official orientation. It was supposed to be today, but I like happy accidents because I like this better, kind of getting the information out and just kind of a chit chat, meet and greet type deal. But tomorrow's the actual orientation for the print and cut workshop, but it is open house style. So if you have an account on our 365 Creative Academy website, there's an email that went out, or you can go straight into the community, the Creative Zone community, and the link to join the Zoom is there. So you'll get to experience like seeing the anatomy of the machines, going through the calibration. You can do all that for free. Maybe that's all you need if you're not in the actual workshop. So that one is a part of the free open house today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's like a real like lesson. And then the first actual project in every single session, like for the workshop, will be the second Thursday of every month, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 6 p.m. Central, 5 for certain mountain times, because I know some of the mountains are in the same time zone as Pacific, and then of course 4 for Pacific. But if you have, I know, Nancy, I believe you have an account, so you can attend tomorrow for free and just come into the open house and just kind of learn about print and cut. If I sign up after tomorrow, no, the professor never provides playbacks. Never. Nope. You got to be in the room. If you miss it, you are out. Seriously? When have I ever done a class and I don't have playbacks? Now, had you been somebody new, I would have just answered it. But you're not new. You were in what, Creative Lounge? Aren't you in creative business? Every class I do. Think somebody else. Okay, so Nisha, see, now the one before you, that one I understand. How long are the recordings available? Because that's a new name. I've never seen that name before. So you have access to the playbacks for like unlimited access. So I'm telling you how this goes, right? Whenever I'm doing them, I stream it and I also kind of like record it. There will be recordings that's like, it's broken down on your dashboard. You will have access to those as long as you are paying for the membership. Each month it's like drip content. The live stream playback of it will release to you every single month. So if you join in, let's say we're in month 3 and you only kind of stay for 1 month, you'll be able to watch months 1, 2, and 3 during that, like during your 1 month membership, but you won't have forever access to that very session that we have, like the one for next week, Thursday. That's the only one that you will have forever access to. But the playbacks are there. We never take them down. As long as your membership is active, you can go back and watch them as many times as needed. The longer you stay in the work, like in the program, the more things that you have lifetime access to. Make sense?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can the Cameos print from wireless? Like the Crooked, we can print from wireless without actually having the cord connected to the device, like the laptop or whatever. Is the Cameo like that too?
So only the 4 and the 5s. The 3 was supposed to be like that, but most people never get it to work. But the 4, you see the blue? Can you see the blue light on that one? That means it's Bluetooth. So the 4 and the 5 and the Portrait 3 can. The 3 was supposed to, but it's never really worked for people. Like most people, like they don't even. It's aggravating. But yeah, those you can.
Okay.
I got a 3 and I got mine to work.
You did?
When I found out that you had to go in there and select it, because I was frustrated at first, like, why isn't it working? And then I noticed that I was working with it, and I thought it was haunted because all of a sudden it wasn't a cord. I'm like, how in the heck is this printing? It's because at some point it selected itself, but it's a drop down to select. And I have to actually select it. I think it's Cameo 3.
Yeah, but I think also they've done a lot of firmware. So I'll say this. I don't really, again, y'all know, I don't really use my 3 that much. So there have been firmware updates, and maybe with one of the firmware updates, it has, but I'm telling, when it first, they call me, inbox me in a panic because the 3 would not do Bluetooth. Like it just wouldn't connect, or it would take forever for it to send. Like you would send it and it's like, it's just sitting there. And then all of a sudden it just starts cutting. That's how it was when it first came out. And of course that was a new feature for it. So maybe that was the issue. And they've done a few firmware updates over time with it. So maybe now that's why it's working, but I don't really use it like that. So, you know, I can't say.
And I also say if your internet is running slow or going up and down, I will say you will see that in the connection, the wireless.
But see, it's not but it shouldn't. Your Wi-Fi shouldn't affect it because it's not a Wi-Fi connection. It's a Bluetooth connection. So your Wi-Fi shouldn't affect it. And that was one of the issues that people were having. And they would say like but I'm like, it's not a Wi-Fi thing. It's straight Bluetooth.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
It just seems, I just connected to that. Like, okay, my wireless is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna come back to that one. Hello, just the live is all sessions free. So today is just our like meet and greet. Some people have not heard about the print and cut workshop. So this kind of gave you like a little insight. Like this is for the people who are like on Facebook and YouTube. This live session, of course, is free. Tomorrow, you can attend for free, no obligation, but you do have to have an account on our Academy site. Learn.365creativeacademy.com is our Academy site. You go on there, you create a free account, you get access to the Creative Zone community. There are those here, they can probably unmute and chime in. I will go and I'm like, hey, I'm live, watch me work. The other day, those who were on there, they got to see me design. If you were any of you guys on that session when we designed this, if you're in the Zoom right now, were any of you guys on the session? So we designed all of this. They saw me, they watched me. This was for an actual order, but they watched me design all of this in that session. So just having a free account on there still gives you some access to like exclusive live sessions. We've done co-working sessions. We just kind of come on. It's like just focus sessions. They're like pro calls. You can ask questions. So just having an account on our Academy site gives you exclusive access to certain things. But for the print and cut workshop, tomorrow's orientation, where you'll learn about the anatomy of the machines, you'll learn how to calibrate your mat, you'll be able to ask certain questions. That won't be live streamed to you guys for free, but you can attend it for free. Just come into the Zoom session, just create a free account. And then the actual workshop, it is currently $3.65. So I got to make sure I say that, because I think last time I said $3.65 and somebody was like, a month, $365? No, $3.65. Very, very low. $3.65 per month is what it costs for the workshop. And I'll go through the sessions again. They are, so next week, Thursday, is our first project. That one is the party cups. I just had them. What'd I do with them? I'm always losing stuff. Oh, they are over here. So that's things like this. Okay. Then you have the second workshop is down to the basics. So it's like troubleshooting, really getting to know your machines. Like that's where you need to not be shy. And if your machine is acting crazy, it's going to stay acting crazy if you don't speak up and ask any questions. So that's where you want to really come and let your guard down. If you are a shy, reserved person, get over it for that day, because you want to make sure that you get what you need to make sure that your machine works for all of these other sessions. October is cardstock tags and labels. So you're going to kind of get a feel. The first one is a sticker paper. I strategically chose that one because you don't have to cut all the way through. It's what's called a kiss cut. It's really easy to kind of cut through that. It doesn't require a whole lot of pressure and trying to figure it out. But with labels, you kind of got to play around with those settings. It makes a big difference if your blade is brand new versus not new. And that's when we're kind of going through like the basics too, like understanding old blades versus like new blades. We're going to go through that down to the basics, but we're going to do a cardstock project for workshop 3. That is October 9th. And then workshop 4 is cardstock based, but it's also like photo paper more so. Like if you want like the glossy one for cake toppers, and also like colored cardstock. I use Recollections brand, which is only 65 pounds. So there's a difference in cutting the heavier cardstock or heavier photo paper versus like something that's 65 pounds. And you can use something that's lighter because you're going to do what's called matting, and you glue them together to make them thicker and sturdier. So that's going to be the workshop number 4. That's November 13th. And then workshop number 5 is the one for principal transfers. That one is December 11th. So that's the lineup for the rest of this year. I want to show this one because I don't really have my shirt. I already have like in the plans. This is a Dollar Tree mug, but this is sublimation on it. So being able to do print and cut, this is clear 651 and it's cut out. You can see, hold on, I'm going to do each place so you can see the outline, and then I'll come here so you guys can see the outline. So there is an outline, and then you do the print and cut on it so that you can put it on there, tape it. And this is a Dollar Tree mug, but this print is sublimation. So we'll go through that because there will be times when you need to do a print and cut to do sublimation to glitter heat transfer vinyl. Sublimation to like there's other like sublimation vinyls. Whenever I'm doing the Caesar Easy Subly, I always still do like the print and cut method. So in order to be able to do that, you got to know the print and cut. So we're going to do that. That's in 2026 though, because this is the lineup until December. There's a new project every single month. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me see. I keep forgetting that I can't see your comments from Facebook. I forgot to make sure that none of you guys had questions.
The machine. For me,
yeah, there are 10 comments here. I am so sorry, y'all. My bad. Hold on. Wait. There we go. I am so sorry. I'm always forgetting that I don't see the comments on here. She says the hammer mill is expensive for no reason. And that the formula for the hammer mill changed also with like with laser printers is great, but like with my my Epson, the quality of it changed. Let's see, I came in late. Is there a link to click on to go? So Miss Catherine, go to the Academy site if you want to just get in the Zoom. This one about to wrap up, but for tomorrow. But if you want to do the print and cut workshop, there is a link in the description. I'll come back in like after the live is over with, and I'll add it to the comments. But you should be able to see it when you go to the Academy site. You scroll down; it's on the home page. You'll see the print and cut. I forgot to look here because the person asked the question is on this camera. But you'll see the print and cut workshop when you go to the Academy site. I'm so sorry. Like, so if you posted a question, it's only letting me see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comments, but it says that there's 11. So if you posted a question or a comment, I didn't see it, please repost it again because it didn't. I forgot that I had to come on here to see y'all questions. My bad. So someone is asking about combining memberships because we have several of them. Now, I don't know which membership you're referring to. So if you can let me know, this technically doesn't mix with any of the other things that we have. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to. If it is the business one, we definitely can't, do that one. This is a standalone, which is why it's also just a lower price point, and it will just come out like the day that you kind of sign up. Thinkific doesn't really allow me to do anything like that. Like I would have to create individual packages, individual memberships to say, okay, it's this one and this one combined. Maybe in the future, the team can kind of go and set that up when we're looking at everything that we have monthly subscriptions for, and be like, okay, well, you can combine this and this one. And like that way it's just one payment. But for now, they are all set up separately. So you mean the Creative Lounge? Well, that one you could have canceled or ended that one. We're trying to bring it back. So that one will be active again. There's going to, but it's not including this. So it's like for everything else, we are going to again try and like redirect how we're doing the Creative Lounge and like the content for that one. But yeah, this and those are technically two different things. This is specifically for print and cut. Yeah, I mean, you can. We're gonna go back into it, and it actually will be a little bit less than what it is now, because it won't be a weekly thing anymore. Well, we kind of went to like twice a month, but there's going to be other stuff like for that one. We're just kind of still ironing it all out. We sent out a message about that. And we had a whole session about it. Last call. I don't see any other questions. So again, open house does continue tomorrow. You just have to have an account. I missed a lot. You do have to have an account. It's a free account. You can attend the open house free. You don't have to pay anything. But if you would like to attend the very first official workshop session on August 14th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you do have to enroll in the actual workshop. It's not connected or combined with any other classes, any other programs that we have. It's a really, really great price, low barrier of entry. It's only $3.65 per month right now. Okay. There are no other questions. Oh, wait, let me go back to the main chat. I see something up here. So Maciel said she was on. She said, yes, I was hoping y'all would unmute so they can hear you, but she said she was on when we did this. So I post all the time in the community zone and say, hey, I'm going to be live. Normally when I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube, I say normally, the plan was to also have a Zoom room open in case you had direct questions for me, because I prefer the Zoom because you can unmute. And I don't have to just read the comments, and sometimes it's a bit of a delay. So I do that as well, where if I'm live and just if I'm showing something, demonstrating something, if I'm just doing a discussion, I open up the Zoom room to those who are in the community. And if you have questions, you get priority with me answering your questions. So just having a free account on our Academy site does come with some perks. Okay. But yeah, we designed this. They've been through a couple of my watch me work, which sometimes includes designs. They've seen me do foam cuts and like other like projects and stuff for orders. So you get a behind the scene look at the operation. All right, y'all. Hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow in the Zoom room. Just create a free account. And for everyone else, hopefully I will see you in the actual workshop starting next week on the 14th. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend. If you know somebody that is struggling with print cut, tell them, come on over. Come on over, baby. All right. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.